So do you ever get that question about whether you should work wide or you should work deep in your network? Or do you ever struggle with how deep should you work in your network? So let me give you a little insight and understanding. And I've been in the industry now for almost 29 years and have had a substantial residual income for a long, long, long time. And part of it is because of what I'm going to share with you right now. So the old adage is you go wide for show and you go deep for dough. Dough, or depending on where you are in the world, dough means money. I know quite a bit of my audience is from out of the U.S. I don't know how that translates, but actually you got to do both, right? But think about it. Think about it in this context. How many major people are you going to sponsor in your career? Now, I'm talking about people that go on to build a substantial full-time business. Well, numerically speaking, it's going to be a small number of people. Not because it's not because it's a limited opportunity. Anyone could, but people gravitate towards their own desires, their own goals. They go through their own stuff, their own struggles, etc. And so what you want to do is you go wide to find the people who are going to work, right? That's where you have one funnel where you're putting in your prospects and out comes people you're going to sponsor. And then you put those in what I call the second funnel. And out of there comes the ones that are really going to do it. But numerically speaking, about 5% of the people who actually really take action are going to do this full time over time. That's just because that's the numbers. That's the human race. And really 3% are people that'll just do it whether you exist or not. They're people that don't need any help. That's the nature of the population. 3% are the kinds of people that just, oh, I'm going to do this? Okay, and they'll figure it out and go do it. But that's not how you want to approach your business. But what it does tell you is the likelihood. Now, I sponsored hundreds of people, maybe thousands in my career. Yeah, thousands in my career. But think about that. Most people won't do that. They're going to sponsor 30 or 40 or 50 or 70 or 80 or 100, depending, right, on what you want to accomplish. But if you think about it from a mathematics perspective, the more important major builders are more likely to not be sponsored by you than be sponsored by you. So now you're automatically getting a clue as to why it's important to work depth. Now, the reason working depth is for dough, so to speak, is not just because you'll also find players, but depth is where security comes from in your business. There isn't security in width, it's in depth, right? That's the foundation of your business. So this is a topic that I could do an hour on, but I'm not. I'm just going to give you some nuggets here. First thing is, there's a classic concept of driving a line down to find what is called the locker. The locker would be the person that locks the line in place because you find this really serious business builder and then you work with them. Smart, very smart. What I don't like sometimes, and I'm just giving this to you because that's how I teach totally openly, is some people's perspective is, okay, now that I found that person, I'm going to blow off everybody in between and hope they quit. That's just bad thinking. That's stinking thinking, right? You want to help everybody. You are helping those people in between. The smart thing is to go find that person and then drive motivation up the line. Drive motivation up the line by letting people know you've got an awesome person down here. Might want to get busy, and I'm happy to help you, but this person's going to put something in place and is already in the process of it, and we're working together. And so there's a lot for you to gain to get busy. So by going down and working there, you can drive volume all the way up because then all of a sudden people who are less engaged get excited. So that's a pretty cool concept. So think about this. You really, in general, in your business, you're going to, 80% of your business is going to come out of 20% of your people. And you'd further out of that other 20%, 80% of those are going to come out of 20% of those, which means about 4% of your people are going to drive the majority of the business besides you. And so you want to find those nuggets. So this is a little nugget on how to find some of those people. The beauty of today, right, working in the networking industry in the 21st century is that you get to see this activity in real time. Instead of, back in my early days, I'd have to wait till I got a ream of paper this thick once a month, and then I'd go through it and go, okay, who is this? Now you can just click a button and see someone get sponsored, 10 minutes ago. And so here's a really couple of simple tips for you to start to identify and at least make some connections. Because you've got to be conscious too about stepping over people between you and someone who's on your 4th or 5th or 6th level. And by the way, how deep should you work? How deep should you work? Endlessly. You should work endlessly, because helping anybody helps everybody. And again, that means you're going to be working with some people who are not in your pay line. It'll help your pay line. And if the people in that line don't get busy over time, you'll participate in that income anyway. So, but the mentality has to be helping someone helps everyone, so helping everyone helps everyone. And so what I teach to do is very, very simple. Simply look at your genealogy, at the new people who are coming in, and look at who's sponsoring them. And send them a little message, a simple message. You can shoot them a message and say, hey, Bob, I saw that you sponsored Mary last week. That's awesome, man. Way to go. You are encouraging and congratulating a little step, and they will love it. They will absolutely love it. They will appreciate it. They will feel like, wow, someone way up there is seeing what I'm doing. That is so cool. It will be so unusual for these people that they will feel like they found their home. And now you have a chance to work with that person because you've reached out and made a connection. Now, you may not have to be the one that works with them. They may have a sponsor, an upline who's awesome, who's working with them. And now you just made everybody look even better. You can edify their sponsor or upline, and they'll feel even better about it. So make sure that you are finding the nuggets in your depth. But watch this trap. The trap is you stop sponsoring because you find a few nuggets down the line. You can't do that, right? You got to keep going wide to find the new nuggets, because really, it takes years to know what you've actually got. So don't fall into the trap of slowing down going wide just because you found some nuggets deep. Go work with those nuggets, but always maintain some consistent sponsoring across the top. So I hope this is helpful for you, and I'll see you next time.